So in this video, I'm going to explain what it costs to do this. And why actually doing all of that can save you money in terms of seat time. Come on. Yeah. So let's get started then. Okay, so the way I look at it, you need three things. You need your car, you need to get there and stay there, and you need to keep drifting. So we'll go through them. First of all, with a car, I have experience with power vehicles. This is how I got my car back in 2018. I know there are other options. It's not just one company, but I will focus mainly on the power vehicle side. And at the end of this, I will touch on what other options you can go down. First thing with power vehicles is you can go and check their website. They have in-stock cars, cars waiting to be in stock. If that's not the case and that's not the option you want to go down, you contact them, you send them a deposit, and then they will also help you source cars through the auction. Now, if you still want the luxury of going with power vehicles, but you're looking for more of a budget option, there is the Gaijin Drift EBISU Japan page. I will put a screen grab of what it is on Facebook over on this side. And basically anyone who has had a drift car in the past and is willing to sell it privately, they will do this. Under each ad, you will see a PV supported, if it is PV supported. And this means you pay a small fee to power vehicles, and then with that, you get the support and you own a vehicle that is there. They will confirm that the car is there and you're all good. As I said, there are other options. You have Sideways X, which is new in the past few years. There are also other companies in Japan that will store a car away from EBISU and bring it up for the days you are there. They can also transport cars to other circuits. So just make sure and do your research and find out what is best suited for your situation. Okay, so now you've got the car, that's sorted. Now it's getting there. So with flights, I always look for the cheapest option, whether I'm hopping or even this time, actually direct was cheaper than stopping. So flights, depending on when you book them, range from around £700 to £1,200. To try and get the best deal, I check Skyscanner, MyTrip, and any other websites that may give you that little bit of discount, that gives you that little edge and more money in the pocket to do more driving in the future. Next is hire car. So with a hire car, again, I go to booking.com, my rent a car, anything like that to try and get another good deal. When you book it, try and get a K car. A K car is a small car, usually restricted in engine size, and it has a yellow number plate. What I have found though, when you get a good deal online and you arrive at the hire car place, they will offer you an upgrade. Now, honestly, any other country, I'm like, oh, fantastic, I will take a free upgrade. But if you're on a budget like me, you say no. Some hotels don't allow you to park if you don't have a K car, yellow number plate, and tolls. Since we're going to be driving from Tokyo all the way to Fukushima, you want the car that is cheapest on tolls as possible, which is the K car. And when checking for the cheapest rental, I found that usually for 2 weeks you can get between £350 and £400 for 2 weeks. So refuse the upgrade, get your K car, make sure you ask for an ETC card. You pay a small deposit, but in the long run, you get discounts on all the toll roads. This trip for us, it worked out around 30,000 yen in tolls. I will put whatever that is up on the screen now. So where do you stay next? Social media screams mountain. Now don't get me wrong, it is a beautiful hotel. It is really close to EBISU. It has a bar, simulator, it's fantastic. Now if you can afford it and you want to go there, brilliant, do it. Again, I'm on a budget, so we look for the places, you're uncomfortable. So we look for the places that are cheapest. Now for me, is going to Fukushima. It's around 15 to 25 minutes away, depending on what hotel you stay at, but you can get the 2 weeks again for around £350 to £400. It's a massive difference if you look at Mountain and other places like that. They're considerably more expensive. Where we stay in Fukushima, it is really close to a 7-Eleven, a Family Mart. We get up in the morning, we pop and get some breakfast. We eat the breakfast as we drive to the circuit. It usually takes us around 17 minutes and it's not bad at all. Now you have your flights, accommodation, hire car, all booked. Your car is bought. You either decide to ask power vehicles to prep the car for you. This is what I do. I ask them to prep the car before my trip so that when I get there, it's more of an arrive and drive experience. 2 things to take into consideration. Are you good at working on cars? and do you have the time? If you're not good at working on cars, get the car checked over, let them look at it, take into consideration anything they suggest. Because the way you look at it is, if they don't fix it now, you will have to fix it while you're there, or they will have to fix it while you're there. That takes away from time of driving, and that's what we're really here for. The car is waiting for you, it's all ready, or you're about to go get it ready, and you arrive at the gate at EBISU Circuit. Now you need to decide, do you need a gold card? What is a gold card? Now a gold card is a 13-month membership to EBISU Circuit. It costs around 120,000 yen. I will put what it costs in the currencies here. And basically, this will give you access to the circuits and matsuris for the period your card is valid. As I said, it's a 13-month card, so if you get it in November, it will last you the whole year to the next November, including that November. It can get you up to 4 matsuris. Is the gold card worth it? This is a good question. This is what a lot of people ask me a lot of the time, especially when I try to explain them how it works. As I said, it's 120,000 yen. To enter EBISU Circuit, it's around 10,000 yen a day to drive. And you also have to pay for matsuri, which is around, I think, 15,000 entry. So if you work it out, 10, 11 days driving at EBISU Circuit and 1 matsuri, that's your gold card paid for. For me, even this trip just passed, I done more than that. Especially if you're going at least twice in the next 13 months. It's a no-brainer. So I just noticed he was covering on my face, probably not a bad thing. But now we'll get onto the day-to-day running of EBISU basically. So fuel, tires, little consumables, etc. EBISU is usually open 6 days a week, with Wednesday being a closed day, but North Course is open at this time. What they've now started doing for the foreigners coming from Matsuri, the week before and the week after Matsuri will be open as normal 5 course, which is good. Not many people know this, not any of the Japanese locals know this, and it is completely empty and dead. I'm going to be basing everything off 10 days of driving. Easy number, simple, and we'll go from there. Within these 10 days of driving, I'm talking about between 60 and 80 laps per day. With that many laps, you'll probably think that we go through tons of tires. Believe me or not, you can actually do all that on 1 pair of tires. This is the benefit of EBISU. Most people will not believe you, but it is possible. Now don't get me wrong, if you just go full on and you do not let the tires cool, you do not do any cool down laps, and you don't cool the tires down with all the hoses that are at most of the circuits, yes, you're going to blow through your tires very quickly. But the kendas and the way the tracks are set up, it's very Japanese, momentum based, it's all about the entry, and it's great for practice and great for fun. Obviously, if you go in spring or if you go in the November, autumn season, you will have rainy days. Now when it rains, that is the good thing, you can drive all day on the same pair of tires. Chuck a new pair on for as much grip as possible and you can keep going all day. Fuel, yes, you may go up to 2 tanks of fuel that day, but usually when the dry days you only go through 1. On the topic of fuel, fuel costs around 210 yen a litre. I'll put a picture up of the EBISU cost that was for this trip, and then I'll also put the conversion rate up here as well. You can only pay cash at the EBISU Circuit fuel tank station, so make sure you always carry cash. Japan is a very cash orientated country. For me, I always use my card when I'm back home, but in Japan, cash is king, it's everywhere. As I said, it's usually 1 tank a day on fuel. If it's wet, you can go up to 2 tanks. If you're really pushing to get as much driving as possible, and you have a bit more of a budget, you can do, say, 2 tanks a day and 4 tires a day, and that will get you well over 100 laps. Depending on your tire management, of course. Tires are around 10 to 12,000 yen for kendas on the rear. Some people like to run them on the front. I like to run a semi-slick, but I like to have my semi-slicks at a higher tire pressure. So usually I go through a pair of fronts every week. If I'm doing a lot of North Course, and sometimes if I forget to flip them, then I have to go through more. Tire management is crucial. So at most circuits, apart from school course, I believe, there's a hose. And now a hose, what you do is, if you're really looking to get that money's worth and get those laps in, do 4 to 5 laps, come in, cool the tires down with a hose, have a breather, think how you did, think what you did wrong, think what you want to improve on, then go back out. It's great for practicing, it's great for the mind, and it's really good for the tires, and you'll get keep more laps out of it. Now, tire management for the fronts. Usually you don't really have to worry about front tires if you're back home, because you go to a drift day, you do 2 days, whatever, you don't have much focus on them. At EBISU, you will start to go through fronts. A lot of the corners are left-hand corners, so your trailing wheel will wear down a lot on the inside of the left-hand side wheel. If you can flip them, that'll also keep your tire budget down. Just have to do it in time. A big thing that I hear a lot is people get bored doing solo runs. Yes, okay, back home, I can sort of see that, especially when we have speed restrictions. We've been told to slow down on entry a couple times in the past, and it's not so fun. But at EBISU, this is the place to practice your solo runs. You can do crazy entries, you can build up speed that you've never built up before, you can really get your driving dialed. For me, I never get bored of solo runs because this is where I practice my backies. I'll chuck one in now. And you can see my backies have momentum now. At the beginning, they were a handbrake entry into a backwards entry. Now I'm carrying as much speed as possible and really trying to improve and go faster and faster and get on throttle earlier and earlier. This is what I do when I have nobody to drive with, or if I'm feeling a bit sketchy and just want to do solo runs and not risk taking out anybody else's car. Okay, now on to the bit that explains how EBISU Circuit saves you money. Now, if we take into consideration everything that we have went through, I'll put it on the screen and I'll explain why. So car, I'm leaving that out. The car is what it costs. You can get a cheap car, you can get an expensive car. The car is just what it costs. But you have your flight, you have your hotel, you have your hire car, you have your tires, you have the fuel, you have your gold card. I'm basing off gold card because for most people it makes sense. And then we're going to work out what it costs you per lap according to the, let's say, 60 laps per day. 60 laps obviously gets you 100 laps, and then if we get that around 4,360 for 10 days of driving. Now if we divide that by 10 for 10 days, that brings us down to 436. Divided by 60 because of the 60 laps per day, and that brings you down to £7.27 per lap. Odin's had enough. He's been listening to me ramble on for the past few hours trying to record this video. Just to wrap it up and finish it off, it's around £7 per lap. Yes, the total is a lot of money. Getting the car is a lot of money, but the things you can benefit from EBISU with, the different tracks you can try, the fact that it's open pit laning, you can go in and out, make changes on the whim, on the fly, doesn't matter. You're literally in control of your whole trip. Another massive plus is just the people that you will meet along the way, whether it be people you've planned to go out there with or ones you just meet randomly. We've met a lot of Japanese guys just for the fact that they showed up for a drift day themselves. You end up talking, as long as you're respectful and genuine, they've responded in the same way. It's really fantastic. That's how we got to find out where the mountain drifting is. I know this is something that everybody dreams of, to go and witness and even experience real life mountain drifting. And just by connecting with locals and just being friendly, you find out so much more about Japan. In terms of costing, in regards to drifting back home, I know every country is different, everybody does it differently, whether how powerful your car is, how fancy your tow rig is. After speaking to many friends, I found out that it's roughly £600 to £1,000 per drift day if you're drifting it in the UK or Switzerland. Obviously with this cost, that is trailing your car there, potential hotels, all the tires, the fuel, etc. Also another question I asked was, how many laps do you get roughly per those days? It is ranged, I would say a happy medium is around 30 laps, what the people are getting. It's from what I remember when I was also driving, and that's quite a lot less than what you experienced at EBISU. So for £800 per drift day, 30 laps, you're talking around £27 per lap. It's a huge jump from what we were experiencing with the £7 per lap at EBISU. And to top it off, the track could be wet, it might not be as challenging, might not be designed for drifting like EBISU Circuit is, where you have many tracks that are dedicated just for drifting. For me, EBISU Circuit works the best. The cost per lap and the money per fun ratio seems to work out best for me. I'm really interested to maybe know what your thoughts and feelings on after listening to me ramble on about how much it cost me to go to EBISU Circuit. If you think I've forgotten anything else, or if you have any more questions, fire them below. I reply to every comment, so I will definitely get back to you. And thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this helps, and maybe I see you at EBISU soon. Thank you. Bye bye.